start this project off with the wood that I'm sanding in this video. And Chevy decided to be a really good idea to overlook the project for me, just to make sure I didn't make any mistakes sanding. So it's literally just wood and blocks that are left over from a project that they were doing outside, and I was like, holy crap, I can totally make little cute wooden signs out of that. Like, so for the sake of you not having to watch me like another video of me just sanding a piece of wood down, that's literally all I did. I sanded the front, the back, the sides, the whole thing, and I sanded it down until it was nice and smooth so that when I was ready to put the stain on top of it, it would be nice and smooth. Here in the video to just wipe off any, dirt or dust left over from when I sand it, so I have a nice clean surface to work with when I start staining. I'm just mixing the stain up before I'm ready to actually stain the wood. If there are any air bubbles in the can after you're done mixing, make sure to let it settle before you use it. So here I'm getting ready to stain. I unfortunately had to use a regular sponge because I couldn't find the ones that I bought from Freeman's. However, it did work out just as good. I don't think it looks any different than when I used them. I wish I would have put a pair of gloves on. So if you're doing this like me, make sure you do put a pair of gloves on. I'm going to let this probably dry for at least like 10 hours, and then I am going to do the bottom side. And I'm only going to stain these pieces one time because we are going to whitewash them after they dry. Okay, so it's coming along nicely, and I did the front and then the back side and the sides, and I did all over, and then I'll do the back once I'm done. If you're gonna try and do it the way I did, because I can't find the sponges on the stick. I don't know what I did with them. Definitely wear gloves because this is after I washed my hands and scrubbed them. So I ended up letting the stain dry for 24 hours, and here I am just lightly sanding the wood over the stain so that the paint will adhere to the wood. And here I just added half water and half paint, and then I stirred it very lightly because you don't want to get watery paint all over your countertops. And if you think you're going to, you might want to just lay something underneath that, unlike I did. I added half water so that I could thin the paint out because I didn't want it going on thick. I wanted to go on very lightly because I don't want to cover the entire piece of wood. So I did up the speed on this video, however, I'm just lightly painting across it. I don't want it on there really thick. I don't want it fully covered. So I am just lightly going across the top and both of the sides. I just want to note that I went over the wood only one time, except for on the side. So if you go long ways, I guess on the ends technically, I went over those 2 times because it soaked up a lot of paint the first time. I'm not sure why, but I did end up having to do those twice. And I'm sorry guys, I actually did cover the whole wood technically, as you can see, just lightly. So that's the glue I'm using, and I'm going to go ahead and put that on the side and keep putting it on the side. And then I'm going to take the other piece of wood and I'm going to push them together because I was going to make singles, but now I'm going to make one big one. So I'm going to do the exact same thing, except for I'm going to push that piece to the opposite side of the other piece of wood because I'm going to make one big sign instead of making single ones. Kyle decided I needed to put more glue on. Okay, so this literally with just the glue that I put on it came out perfectly solid. Like, I don't think it actually needed the other things to put in between because this is like totally solid, guys. Then I went over with the gray wash again, and I did in between here because you could see the glue. Obviously, I did it 2 times because it didn't seem to cover it the first time. And then I also went up on the top. I went on the bottom because I just wanted to keep it kind of like the paint looking even. I didn't want it to look off, and it did with me just doing this twice since I did all over once. Okay guys, now I'm going to be using this material. You can get it at any craft store. The dollar store sells something like it. Anyways, I'm going to do this on each end of this, and I'm going to go around 2 times. And so I'm just going to measure it by going around, let's see, twice. And I'm going to leave some extra room because... sorry guys, I'm gonna leave some extra room because we need to tie it or glue it, right? Yeah, so we're gonna do it a lot longer, not that much longer though. That's really long. Okay, I'm gonna cut it about right there, and then I'm gonna do this one more time because like I said, I want it on each end of the sign. It's gonna look so cute. I can't wait. So this is what it ended up looking like. We are finally getting into the fun part that I like, start decorating it. I did an X on each side as soon as I knew exactly where I wanted to put them. This needs up a little bit higher. Anyways, as soon as I knew where I wanted to place them, oop, dropped my glue gun. That's what I did though. I glue gunned it to the back. And I did this side too because this is kind of like the base of it where it wrapped around. I glued these down first so it secured it, and then I also did these just in case. But yeah, it's pretty much that simple. Or if you guys wanted to, you could just make the strings long enough to where you can actually tie them to the back for extra security. If I was selling this, that's what I would do. But I didn't make mine long enough, so I wasn't able to do that. So anyways, I just glued it to the back. Honestly, you could have like used the wood glue. I think this was secured a little bit more. I feel like there's lots of ways you could like glue this to secure it a little bit more. But anyway, since it is for my bathroom personally, I just used a glue gun, and I'm happy with how it turned out. And now on to the next part. So all I did was I traced on the sign with a wooden pencil. I did not actually use like tracers or anything like that. I just, you know, eyed it and used my hand. And I think it would have came out a little bit better if I would have used a transfer. But I didn't want to do all that. And this was fine because it's just for me personally in my bathroom. Anyways, all I did then after that was I kind of followed the lines over with white paint then. That was pretty much it. And I did end up going over this twice with the white paint just because it looked a little bit better going over it twice. I do wish I would have used a transfer or something along those lines. Only because the will think part came out a little bit uneven and it is kind of bugging me, so I might go back and like paint over it and redo it. I don't know. It's for my bathroom, so I might just let it be, but next time I think I'm gonna get transfers for sure. Okay guys, so I finally finished my first sign, and it's not totally perfect because, want to see it? It's hilarious. It's super cute and I like it, whatever. Anyways, the will think is a little bit crooked there. Yeah, but it's my first one. And I totally hand painted this. Like, I hand painted it, guys. Like, I didn't use a stencil or anything. So it's my first time, so I think I did a pretty good job since I had to do it that way. Kind of wish I had a stencil. And anyways, next time